Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Digital Diaries Voices of Disruption theme for the month. The last edition for the year, and one that will drive momentum into delivering our 2024 objective, embracing the power of positive disruption. Let me waste no time in introducing a very familiar face and certainly an industry disruptor and influencer in himself, Mr. Frans Baleni. Frans is Mining Indaba's Executive Advisory Board Chairman, and will share some insights today on the progress South Africa's mining industry has achieved since the start of democracy almost 30 years ago. Welcome, Frans. So good to have you with me today.
Welcome. Good, Laura.
So, Frans, as I mentioned, the South African industry, the South African economy has celebrated or will be celebrating in 2024 30 years of democracy. From your perspective, Frans, can you tell me about some of the South African mining industry's achievements, greatest changes that you've seen in the sector over this period?
Laura, over the past 30 years, we've seen a lot of progressive legislation, so to speak, which facilitated the emergence of new players to diversify the industry, and also in terms of a race. And by the way, it is only post 1994 we had an Afrikaner-speaking CEO of a mining industry. Before then, there was no Afrikaner as a CEO of the mining industry.
Okay. Wow, Frans, that's amazing. I didn't even know, to be honest. So, how do you believe the African continent, France, can learn from South Africa? I mean, we are quite mature by relation to a lot of other African countries. How do they learn from our South Africa's mining industry?
I think the continent can learn few lessons from the mining industry and stakeholders in South Africa. Firstly, the industrialization of the country was at the back of the mining industry. The level of skills we have in the country globally are unmatched, given the deep mining method we're using, especially when it comes to gold and platinum. Leadership is also very, very important in the industry. These are lessons to learn where you can see vision. If you take what came out of goldfields, and today we're talking about Sibanye. From Anglo, we ended up with ARM, and today is Harmony. So you can see that leadership does assist to change for the better, looking into the mining space in particular.
Oh, fantastic insight there, Frans. Naturally, strong leadership makes for a strong mining industry, and South Africa certainly has some fantastic examples that you have shared with us. But on the opposite side, Frans, we do need to talk about challenges. So what do you believe to be South Africa's greatest challenges moving forward to ensuring South Africa is a sustainable and globally competitive industry?
I think the greatest challenge South Africa is facing is the failure of infrastructure. Infrastructure such as railway line availability to take products to the port. Electricity has been a challenge for the past couple of years and now. Water availability and just the approval processes. If we can eliminate those key things, we can compete quite easily. We need certain skills given the technological environment we're moving, so we need to step up our game in that area as well.
And Frans, are you optimistic? Do you believe South Africa is going to step up its game and do what needs to be done to overcome some of these very, very critical challenges that you've mentioned?
I'm quite positive looking what we have now and the potential insofar as critical minerals. Clearly, anybody who's not stepping up will be in trouble.
Thank you, Frans. So naturally, we want to talk about critical minerals opportunities. The world is absolutely focused without question on critical minerals. So how do you believe South Africa can become a globally competitive industry in the critical mineral space specifically? And what actions does the DMRE need to do or have in order to see this materialize, Frans?
I think we can be very globally competitive in this critical mineral space. Firstly, by scanning the environment and know exactly geologically where are these critical minerals located. Are there any critical minerals under ownership of X and Y? Are there others not owned by anybody which need to be licensed? So that's critical. And also make available funding. If you take asset management like PIC and other financial companies to come to the party and fund as much as they can to take off this advantages of critical minerals.
Critical piece needed for our critical minerals, Frans. It's not about whether South Africa has great deposits. It's about whether governments can foster an environment that's going to encourage investment, as you say, into this industry. And I'm sure with your optimism, Frans, I'm sure our government will get there and we'll have a thriving critical minerals industry in South Africa. Frans, in conclusion, as I said in the beginning, you are an industry influencer and a positive disruptor in yourself. What do you believe to be the areas that require the greatest disruption in the South African mining industry at the moment?
I think firstly, or things which requires greater disruption in the mining space. If you look at safety and if you look at production, they still conflict oriented. And I think if we can pack that and work as a team and make this industry the most safest industry. Secondly, is to increase the level of productivity in a disruptive manner so that we can create more jobs, we can contribute better in the economy. And I've seen the level of mechanization, what it can bring about. And therefore, this is the time that we bring in, without hesitation, technology to give impetus to our desire to turn things around for the betterment of all.
Frans, it is truly disruptive to talk about how technology can actually lead to employment in our industry. And I really thank you for such a fantastic, transparent, honest opinion and some insights around that. Really fantastic, Frans. I thank you for your time. You are an influencer in our industry. You are a disruptor, and we have so much to learn from your insights, Frans. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you, Laura, and all the best.